Good afternoon, Del Pilar class. So this is our lesson for science, quarter 1, module 2. For our lesson, we will be talking about how matter changes when applied with heat. Alright, so let us review first the activity that we finished last week. I gave you the topic about useful and harmful materials. So let me see. So I asked you to answer activity 4. Now let's assess what we learned. By completing the paragraph, you can check your own work. So these are the answers for activity 4. So many materials and substances are useful at home. That's the answer. And in school. But they can be harmful if not used properly. So materials are considered useful when they serve their purpose. Some useful materials can be reused. For example, an empty container can be used as a house decor, but some materials can be hazardous, like a broken glass jar, that can cause cuts or injury. So I hope you got 5 points there. So for this week, we will be talking about changes in matter. So what are the 3 states of matter again? So we have solid, liquid, and gas. So matter can be changed by applying heat. So heat is a form of energy. We use a thermometer to measure heat. Remember, when we are sick, you use your thermometer to check whether your temperature is high or low if you have a fever. So that is a gauge for checking our temperature, a thermometer. Our largest source of heat is the sun. Okay, no? So it is a very powerful tool that gives off heat, or a powerful object that gives off heat. Heat can bring about a physical change in matter. Okay, some solid materials melt when heat is applied to them. Okay, let us see the samples here. Example, in the picture you can see ice, a piece of melting ice when it is taken out of the refrigerator. Wet clothes when hung under the sun will become dry, which means that the water in the clothes evaporated. So because of the heat or heat energy, physical changes happens to a cube of ice and wet clothes that are hung to dry under the sun. Okay, heat does not only produce a physical change in materials. Sometimes heating a material causes it to undergo chemical changes. So physical change is different from chemical change. The chemical changes caused by heat are irreversible. When we say irreversible, you cannot undo it anymore or cannot be returned from its former state. Example, cooking an egg undergoes a chemical change. When you cook a raw egg, you put it under a hot pan with oil on it, you will get a cooked sunny side up egg or a scrambled egg like what you see in the picture. Okay? Physical change only happens when the appearance of the material changes and no new material is formed. It is called physical change if nothing really happened to the material. Example, paper. If you cut paper into pieces, it is still paper. The physical appearance of the paper changed because from a huge piece of paper, it becomes smaller. Meanwhile, chemical change happens when the heat is applied and the matter changes its size, shape, color, and smell, and a new material is formed. Okay, so that's the difference between physical and chemical change. Let's go back to physical change. It only happens when the appearance of the matter changes and no new material is formed. Example, paper cut into pieces or broken glass. That's the sample. Okay. Next, chemical change happens when heat is applied and matter changes its size, shape, color, and smell, and a new material is formed. Example is burning wood. So wood, when you burn it, it will become dark. It will smell different. also with cooking food. That is a sample of a chemical change, cooking food. Okay. For our first activity, I want you to read the list of examples below. Put them in their proper column, and then you write your answers in your notebook. So we have two columns here. The first one, physical change and chemical change. Look at the list of examples below, and you put them where they belong. Example, baking cookies. What happened to the cookies? Is that a physical change or chemical change? Other samples, we have chopping wood, souring milk, making popcorn, cutting paper, rusting of iron, crushing a can, chopping an apple, burning of candles, and boiling water. For activity 2, on a bond paper, I want you to draw 3 examples of physical change. So, I mentioned cutting paper. So, you can probably draw something like that. And so, you have to make 3 examples. Whereas for chemical change, you think of materials that changes because of the application of heat. Okay, so you have to make 3 of these. You have to draw them, no? And the last activity, read the following sentences carefully. Write through if the situation shows how matter changes when applied with heat. Write false if not. So it's very easy. So you just have to write true or false. Okay? That's about it for this week. It's a very short lesson. Um, Hopefully next week we will be online and no, there will be no problems anymore. Okay? Bye for now. I'll see you again next time. Bye.